Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this grass texture using a wet wipe. This texture is ideal for smaller scale modelling, so if you're looking at model railways, anything like N-gauge and lower for example, epic scale wargaming, it's basically just a really good texture for when static grass and individual fibres for grass wouldn't really look that realistic. Hope you enjoy. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some wet wipes and we're going to dry those completely. Leave them out for a good 24 hours, make sure they're completely dry. And what we're going to start off by doing is actually teasing those apart. You'll find that in one direction they'll stretch, they'll be quite elastic, and in the other they'll actually be quite tough. You want to stretch them in both to start opening up the gaps in between all the fibres. You don't want to overdo this. You'll find that your fingers might go through in certain places and you might rip it quite a bit. You may need to practice a little bit, but you want to start opening some gaps here and there. This is a technique we actually use for creating marble when we're spray painting and airbrushing for certain techniques. But we're actually going to use this to create the grass texture in this instance. Once you've got the wet wipe how you want it, then you want to apply a good layer of glue, ideally PVA in this case as always, onto the surface that you want this texture to be on, and just whack the wet wipe straight onto it. Once this has been allowed to dry a little bit, I would recommend you then water down some glue and then apply that over the top so you seal both the bottom and the top surface. But if you do just want to, be quick about this, you can just glue the base. What I've done to build up the texture here a bit further is then gone in and added another layer of the teased wipe. Just to build up the texture a bit more, you'll find that the more layers you build up, the thicker and more undulating the surface will be. Obviously do whatever suits you, make sure you have a good practice. But keep sealing those layers with glue. And don't trim anything until the glue has completely dried, otherwise the texture is going to shift and you're going to be in a big mess. Once everything has dried, obviously trim it off as needs be, and then your painting process is really straightforward. We're going to prime this with a black standard approach, and then all I've done is done some very basic washes, mixing colours whilst they're wet on the surface of the texture. One thing you do want to be mindful of is that first layer of paint might reactivate the wipe and it'll become a bit mushy. So if that does happen, just let it dry, be patient. As you build up the layers of paint, it'll become nice and solid and easy to work with. Once I've mixed and mottled all the colours together, all I've done is gone in with a very simple dry brush, and that's when you really see the texture come through, and you can hopefully see why this is more suitable for smaller scales. We don't have those individual fibres of grass, but you can see that there is some indication there that it is a grass texture we would normally associate with. So there we have it, really simple texture, nothing complicated at all, really quick process. If you're doing this on larger surface areas, what I'd recommend is that you make sure you tease and rip the edges of the wipe so that you don't get any kind of neat lines that are harder to disguise. If they're ripped, it's going to blend in a lot easier. But there we go, there is our grass texture. Hope you enjoyed.